That's the point I'm trying to make in this video. Like, literally, if you don't wash your hair, anything that you use can become product buildup and can cause your hair to dry out from the inside out. Hey y'all, Nappy Valley here, and today we're gonna be talking about something interesting that has been on my mind for a while because it is causing mayhem in the natural hair community. So this is for everyone who recently found out that oils were bad, butters are bad, leave-ins are unnecessary, everything that you know about the natural hair movement and how to take care of your hair is wrong. This is for y'all. This is for y'all. I understand people's frustration and confusion. I felt like it was my duty to make this video to kind of explain the root cause of everything that is going on right now. I am not a cosmetologist, so do take what I say with a grain of salt. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy my little analysis of what I think, or what the root issue of what is going on right now. So although I'm not specifically talking about oils in this video, I will be talking about the curly girl method because trust me when I say, once you finish this video, you will understand why the curly girl method basically ruined everything. Great, cool. Now that we have gotten to that understanding, let's get into this video. Normally this would be a detangle with me, but life happened, so we're just going to be taking out my braids while I talk about this. So in this video, I'm really just going to be talking about why I hate natural hair advice and why natural hair advice over time just becomes confusing and convoluted and everybody's just like, what is going on, right? So the first reason why I hate natural hair advice is because if that advice isn't 100% true or is conditionally true, it's very easy for that advice to become a trend and just seen as law. And because it's seen as law, it can cause issues later on. So going with this example of the curly girl method, my opinion is that the curly girl method is the root of all of our problems, and not that the curly girl method is 100% false, but there's a lot of misconceptions within the curly girl method, which we all take as law or truth, which is now causing issues within the natural hair community. Just to kind of recap what the curly girl method is and what are main pillars of the curly girl method, I just want to read to y'all the list that I made. So the first thing about the curly girl method is to avoid shampoos and sulfates because they're damaging to your hair and they can dry it out. The second thing about the curly girl method is to only use conditioners or co-wash to wash your hair because it's more moisturizing. The third thing is to avoid silicones and mineral oil because they cannot be washed away, causing your hair to dry out, from product buildup. And the fourth thing is to not use combs, brushes, towels, basically any type of styling tool or tools on your hair because it can cause damage. Even though variations of, my hair feels soft. Even though variations of this method have been around for quite some time, the founder of Diva Curl Salons and Diva Cuts is the one who popularized it to the point that everybody considers it law, right? And when I say the founder of Diva Curl, I'm talking about the company that is currently being sued because it allegedly caused people's hair to fall out. I have a video on that if you want to check it out, or I kind of explain, or I show you videos of people explaining what's going on. Check that out. It'll be right here. But yeah, basically before that method, again, in my opinion, before that method became extremely popular, people was washing their hair with sulfates. People were using products with heavy ingredients like grease and jerry curls and all that with not as many problems as we have now. In my humble, unlicensed opinion, I think that's because back in the day, we used to have shampoo that actually cleansed our scalp, allowing us to use heavier products without as much issue as we do now. And The use of conditioner, in my opinion, was like more people used or understood the purpose of conditioner before the curly girl method became popular. Yeah, when I was little and started doing my own hair, I don't think leave-in was a thing. So everybody washed their hair and conditioned their hair and then put whatever product that they put on it. Like a lot of the other steps wasn't a thing until high school. I know I look young, but high school. So this leads me to believe that the curly girl method emphasized avoiding silicones so much, or mineral oils or heavy products, not because those products are inherently evil or inherently bad or inherently just toxic and detrimental to your hair, but because it didn't align with the curly girl method. You can't like use heavy products but then only wash your hair with shampoo. That it would not have worked. So that's why I'm kind of on this fence, like half truths or conditional truths is true if X, Y, and Z is true. That's what a condition is. Can cause confusion with people because people don't realize that something is only bad in this situation, but not bad in other situations. And then I also think that the curly girl method kind of messed up, or Lorraine, the founder of the curly girl method, kind of messed up because I feel like she severely underestimated how many other ingredients other than silicones and mineral oils that could cause product buildup when you only wash your hair with conditioners or very, very gentle cleansers. So this leads me to like my next point of why I hate natural hair advice and why I feel like it's just causing issues and making things confusing for no reason. The second reason why I hate natural hair advice is because companies use whatever is trendy and whatever is popular as the basis of what they create for their hair products and not like what's actually good for hair care. And to go back to my example of the curly girl method, something that annoys me is when companies make products based off of trends or fads or whatever popping advice is happening right now, and not based off of just like general hair science. It validates that that fad, that trend that isn't necessarily true or isn't always true, right? I feel like a lot of companies, especially Shea Moisture back in the day, decided to adopt the curly girl method, even if they didn't say it explicitly, decided to adopt the curly girl method because it was trendy, it was interesting, and sell us co-washes or sell us like gentler shampoos that don't really cleanse your hair, and didn't like put on the instructions like, hey, only use this if you don't use a whole host of products, or make sure you cleanse your hair every blah 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 weeks or whatever, in addition to using this product. They didn't say any of that. They just kind of sold us co-washes and gentle shampoos without telling us the potential dangers of that. And my thought is also like, I wonder how many cosmetic chemists or the scientists that worked for the companies, how many of them was like, hey, let's not do this. This is probably not good. But the company decided to sell those products anyways because it's popular, it's trendy. And there's so many other examples of this phenomenon where incorrect natural hair advice gets marketed. Basically, incorrect natural hair advice gets marketed. And I'm also thinking about like all those shampoos that highlight the fact that they have apple cider vinegar in their shampoo, even though the apple cider vinegar is not what's cleaning your hair, it's something else. And the apple cider vinegar is either just there or there to balance the pH. When companies do that, I don't know how aware they are that they're indirectly sending a signal that this means, oh, apple cider vinegar can be used at home by itself with no problem. Like, no, it can't. It cannot. So this is just like something that I've noticed, and I wanted to, point it out because like, how much responsibility does hair care companies have in promoting proper hair care principles. I personally feel like they do have a responsibility to make products aligned with hair care principles that make sense. Or at least to tell the consumers like, hey, if you do this, these things could potentially happen. Be aware. And I feel like they just didn't care. I don't know. I also kind of talked about this a little bit more in my white companies taking over black hair care companies, because somebody who watched that video was saying that it's the consumer's job to do the necessary research to make sure, I guess, companies don't scam you. But like, at a certain point, those companies need to be held accountable for selling us products that could potentially stop working if we don't cleanse our hair, and not telling us, while also selling co-wash, that these products can potentially stop working because your strands are coated up with product and can't absorb anything. Like, I feel like that should have been told to people. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this is a whole video in and of itself, but I'm gonna move on. My third reason why I hate natural hair advice, or I feel like natural hair advice becomes confusing, is because I feel like people don't be evaluating like what's happening. I feel like some people, the reason why they're so susceptible to incorrect natural hair advice is because they just follow what's popular without like thinking through it. Does that make sense? And to be honest, I feel like you need to think through good advice too, because if you don't, I just feel like there needs to be more thought. I don't think people are thinking enough through their natural hair journey or through their natural hair care, like building a natural hair care routine. And if you need help thinking through it, I would love to make a video on how to create a natural hair routine. And not in the terms of products, but in terms of things you need to think about when you're building a routine, a hair routine. Anyways, just let me know if that's something you guys would want. To go back to the curly girl method example, I wonder how many people, myself included, washed their hair with co-wash for a year or more and experienced like a really, really dry and itchy scalp and didn't think, I didn't experience this before. I wonder what changed, what happened, and like go through the motions of figuring out like, is it this product? Is it this product? Is it this product? No, it's the co-wash. My hair is not clean. That's why my scalp is dry and itchy. I'm wondering how many people are following a routine that produces results they don't actually like, but they keep doing the routine anyways. Like that's really what I'm talking about. And that's also why I feel like natural hair advice is confusing, because people just do things without thinking about why they do it. Like with your routine, with your natural hair routine, you should have a reason why you do things. You shouldn't just do things because people tell you to do things. That's how you get scammed. I know that's kind of contradicting my last point, but I think it is the consumer's responsibility to determine what is and what is not working for them. But I don't think it's the consumer's responsibility to know what the product is supposed to do or the product is supposed to achieve. Okay, and my last point, my last reason why I hate natural hair advice and I feel like natural hair advice is mad confusing is because people talk in absolutes way too much. There's a difference between something that is 100% bad in every single example that you put it in. There is something that is bad in some examples, good in others examples. There are things that are unnecessary, and then there are things that are 100% good no matter what you do. Whenever people say anything about any type of product, people are just like, oh, it's automatically bad. I can't use this ever. And no. I don't think that's a good way to think about hair care. I don't think thinking about hair care routines as black and white is necessarily a healthy way of thinking about it. Because again, to go back to the curly girl method. The curly girl method was like, silicones are bad. Mineral oil might actually be bad, but they were really on the silicones. They were like, silicones are bad. It dries your hair out. It clogs your pores. It's bad for you, blah, 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 right? But in actuality, there are silicones that are water soluble, meaning if you put water in it, it will dissolve, meaning it doesn't clog your pores, it doesn't hold on to your hair strand and can't get washed off. But the curly girl method did not let you know that, did not tell you that, didn't let you know that that was even a possibility. So there's a whole group of people walking around for the past, I don't know, 10, 12 years thinking that silicones are bad in every example, every situation you put them in, which isn't necessarily true. It's only bad if you don't wash your hair. If you don't wash your hair, almost everything is almost bad if you don't wash your hair. That's the point I'm trying to make in this video. Like, literally, if you don't wash your hair, anything that you use can become product buildup and can cause your hair to dry out from the inside out. There's tons of videos on here. I can link them down in my description box of curly hair chemists or cosmetic chemists or trichologists, which is kind of like a dermatologist, but without going to medical school. They're still licensed and they are hair specialists as well. There's tons of videos of those people talking about why silicones aren't the worst things in the world, and silicones are actually pretty helpful. If you heavily followed the curly girl method, you would think that silicones are the worst things in the world and there's no possibility that they can ever be good. That, again, let's not think about hair care in that way moving forward. I know I'm not a cosmetologist, but I like believe this to my core. And I feel like this is also true outside of just hair. A lot of things aren't necessarily good or bad. It's conditional. It's conditional. You gotta look at all the variables before you can determine whether or not something is good or bad for you. Okay, so I did my makeup and took the rest of my hair. But that is basically what I wanted to get across in this video. I feel like it was kind of all over the place, so I apologize for that. But definitely let me know what you think down below. I would love to have a dialogue with you guys, and also check out my other opinion-based videos if you want more analysis of what I think is going on in the world. But yeah, that is all I have for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And see you guys hopefully next week. Bye.